Hey guys, so God showed me something last night and it was pretty amazing actually. Um, he showed me that I am more of a ripple effect. He said that pretty much now what I have embedded in my DNA when I learned what I learned through this entire thing, every child now born will be encoded with that same resistance to manipulation and deceit, and be able to see right through those things. This is quite profound. I mean, the fact is that what we have here now is a chance, a real good chance to change the world that we're living in. All right. Um, Most High wants me to co-write our new society's like guidelines, rules, and how things will be done. You guys are in good hands, okay? You have no idea what I've had in mind about our society. You know, I don't feel, and you might not agree with this, but I don't feel that throwing people in jail for using substances is wrong. I mean that is we're treating them like criminals instead of treating them like patients. All right, they're trying to soothe a trauma that we all had as a child or as an adult or something like that. That's why people use substances, and I don't think throwing them in jail is the answer to it. I really don't. um I believe that we really need to just understand what the root cause of that pain that they're feeling before they actually get to a a sense of completion with themselves, or where they could actually feel like they're in charge of themselves. Heal that wound, basically. Um, I I really do feel that most of the homeless, and I've said this many times before, I believe most of the homeless is affected by black magic. Okay, being that I was affected by black magic for so long, and I understood they were going through the same things I was going through, where you try to get a leg up, you get something going, and something else would, block you and keep you where you couldn't excel. Um, that ain't the way that life works, okay? I mean, there should not be, a couple of obstacles here and there, but we're not talking about obstacles. We're talking about roadblocks. Like, it stops you in your tracks. You can't go any further. You have to change your idea and go a different way. So I just know that that type of stuff, that's not natural. All right, so I wanted to make a spiritual rehab as well as like a drug treatment center instead of like you know, I don't really like the idea of rehab, because rehab always sounds like you're gonna go back. Okay, I want to get to the root cause, and if it takes a couple of salt baths and to be able to really do some reads on people and see if they are being attacked, um, I think that's the way to go. All right, I really think that that would really drive the amount of homeless off the street and get back on their feet, because now that we're taking down these covens and these cults and these people that have held their seat of power on their delusional, ideology, um, and it's delusional. Everything they do is pretending. It's hypnosis. It's basically telling you I am powerful, and I will do this thing that will make your life go like that. And they're actually pretending most of the time. I can't tell you how much pretending these people are doing, throwing, word curses and stuff like that. If you bring your vibration high enough, people, you won't have to worry about any of this. You won't have to worry about it. Because what happens is that it's like tuning forks. You get one at one frequency and the one at a different frequency. You bring them close together, you ain't going to get any type of resonance from the other. All right. But if you bring one to the other that is exactly the same, as the first one, you ring one, the other one will ring. That's how they get you. You have to be in their low vibrational state in order to have that magic to hit you. So, raise your vibration. That's the only way to do it. And you have to destroy yourself. All right. I mean, I had help. They were going after me like crazy. I destroyed myself really well. But you have to understand that your ego is probably the most destructive thing in this world. Once you remove your ego and you get to the point where you don't care what other people think, you don't, I mean, obviously I could put on a filter and make myself look a lot better. Why? Then anybody who would meet me and try to see the authentic me would not see me as authentic. All right? Take off your filters, people. Be real. Be real. There's nothing wrong with it. Your differences is what makes you so absolutely unique. People just need to understand that if we all start doing this together and start being real, like vulnerable with each other, if we're all going through it at the same time, it won't be that bad. Okay? We'll have a lot more understanding of what a person's going through and understanding that, hey, don't give them a bunch of shit right now. They're going through their dark night of the soul, or they're going through this. And we will applaud you and give you space and give you, hints and, reminders what you do and what you don't do. And, I always try to tell people, if you were trying to heal any wound in your body, get to your flow state. The state where you do something where you're kind of in a trance, but you're not. It's either drawing or singing or something where you just feel like you could do that for hours. And you go, where the hell did the time go? That's your flow state. That's the state where you're the most authentic you. I don't care if it's just doing martial arts katas in the backyard. Whatever it is that you do and you get into that state, even if it has to be through substances to get you there, that's the most authentic state. And God wants you to kind of really understand that that's the place where you can heal all of your traumas. You get into that state, you start doing your thing, and then all of a sudden you'll just start thinking about something that really hurt you. And you'll have an emotional moment. You'll go down pretty hard. You'll really have that, like, oh my God, this kind of hits the gut real hard. It will be a short grieving. It only maybe a minute or two. And you'll come out of it. And the next time you start thinking about it, you try to poke it, it just doesn't react anymore. That's how you know you healed something. That's how you know you made things whole within yourself. All right, you went to some place that really hurt, but when you're in your most authentic state, the amount of grieving and the most I tried one without flow state. It took me 3 days to get over. So in flow state, it took me less than 3 minutes. So if you're trying to heal wounds, I'm giving you a key, guys. I mean, this is the key. Find your flow state. Your flow state is where it's at. Don't underestimate that you can find it. This is, and it's like drawing or writing or, even doing math problems. I mean, I know people who find their flow state, playing chess, riding a bike. Wherever it is that you just feel like you're in that zen, kind of like half trance, half not, but you can do things perfectly and you do it really perfect because that's your God-given talent, go there. Go there. That's what you want to do. There's no other way to do it. Now, I know that when I found my flow state, mine's dance. I dance. I could find it. And last night I danced and did more martial arts, attacking, fighting, When I put out that post that I said, you know, cult of Saturn, you know, I'm prepared. I went out in the blood moon. All right. I know that they attack during moon cycles and full moons and shit like that. That's what they always do. It's what they do. So, um, you know, I was prepared this time. And me and the Most High were sitting here just trying to see what happens. When I came into my zone and I started to see the cloud of demons that were around me, and I'm talking hundreds of them, I just started going to town. I started attacking them. I was deep in my flow state. They couldn't touch me. All right? I battled for 2 hours straight. 2 hours straight. Dancing, getting into his zone, playing good music, and trying to hit him with love as I hit him with my sword. When you go out there and you get into your flow state and you attack things in the spirit, who says that it's not real? Who says that the spirit side did not feel it? All I know is that I shouldn't be here. The cult of Saturn is the Illuminati cult. They are the one that has the cabal in Mecca and the cube, and every Nike swoosh is all about the cult of Saturn. I mean, this is a huge cult. I went after them all. After 2 hours, I turned around and asked Most High, all right, is there another wave? And he's like, no, they ain't coming for you anymore. They stopped. And I'm like, oh, so I get to go bed early? And he's like, yeah, go to bed early. So, but it shouldn't have happened like that, all right? And the reason why it does is because when you can put yourself into a place where you're in your flow state, that's where the magic happens. That's where the magic happens. You can overcome a lot of things when you transmute. That's where I transmute most of my power. All right, when they throw me negative and negative and negative, I sweep it up, I put it in me, and I burn it as fuel. It's like a train getting a big ass lump of coal back in the day, those old steam engine ones, and it chugga 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 chugga. I can go and go and go off of the negative energy that gets thrown at me. It's just what I learned to do, because you could fall into their trap and get into, they got power and I'm seeing this stuff happening, oh my God, it must be happening, or you could rise above it. I have videos where it shows me having beauty magic on me that made me really crone looking, all right? And I didn't give up. I was actually angry. I went back at him, and I shouldn't have actually done that video because it kind of like started his whole, obsession with me where he had a tit for tat. But what I know for me, all right, is that I knew I was being attacked, but I also knew that I didn't believe in their shit. I didn't believe in it. You kind of tell me that you put a candle here, sun here, whatever, and you're going to make something happen because you say it's going to happen. They make it happen because they got 5 or 6 people working together on the same script, throwing the same information out to one individual. And that one individual gets overloaded by multiple people's thoughts. Thoughts are power. This is what you are. When I tell people you are your thoughts, be careful. When you start, telling yourself, oh, I suck at this, I'm terrible at that, oh, what? Stop that shit. Stop that shit. It's not getting you nowhere, okay? And your subconscious mind only knows you. So if you say that shit, it's thinking, oh, I must be shit like this. So when you go to sleep at night, your subconscious goes out and tries to make the shit that you were talking about during the day okay for the next morning, okay? So what is it saying when you're saying, oh, I am a piece of shit, or I suck at this? This ain't the way your subconscious, it has nothing to work with, all right? If you could say, wow, I really don't know anything about that subject, but I'm willing to learn. It's a different way of speaking. It's a different way of being. It's the way you want to be. You don't, how can you say, when you put yourself down, when you put yourself down and you don't give yourself enough, like, spiritual uplift, okay? And people, I don't do mantras. I'm just not a talker like that. I don't like doing mantras. I hate that I had to call my energy back in the morning and the night every day. It just sounds weird for me to do that. All right? So I don't do mantras, but what I do is I consume a lot of media that is inspiring, very inspiring, intelligent, stuff that will give me insight on psychology and stuff, because this was all a psychology war. It was psychology. They try to play their psychology on me, and I just rewrote the game. I just said, well, I won't engage. And everything in their playbooks has, you must engage in order to work. And I just won't engage. And when I stopped engaging and I stopped, giving them any fuel to work with, it unraveled them. They had to go harder, and they had to go harder, and they went more darker and more sinister and more diabolical, that I could never look their direction again and feel at all like I have anything left for them other than disdain. I mean, I forgive them because I know that they were under spell work, under demons, under a lot of really awful spirits. However, who brought those spirits in, trying to knock me down off my horse because you couldn't allow me to just get at your level or higher? It was a competition, and you're gonna slap me down for it after you were sucking my energy for so long? That's just, I have nothing to say other than, you know what, the time that we ever spent together, you better just keep that memories, because there won't be any other time. All right, I have moved on. I have moved way beyond you, and I can't deal with, bringing Pampers everywhere I go, trying to deal with your temper tantrums and your fits and your I haven't, somebody's doing something that I'm not doing. Grow the fuck up. You know what? One of the coolest guys I ever knew told me a thing. He said, hey, this is when I was raving. I was doing E every weekend and everything like that and stuff like that. And I had to miss a party to go to work. And usually I didn't have to work on the weekends, but that time I did. And he comes up to me and he goes, the party's always going. Sometimes you're in, sometimes you're not, but the party's always going somewhere. You'll always find a party. Don't worry about it. Oh my God. Such great advice. You don't have to always be with everyone and stuff like that. Sometimes being on your own or away from the party, but when you go, you'll actually find a good party. And this is when parties were everywhere. You kids don't know shit about what our Gen X parties used to be like in the neighborhood. You would see like 50 cars along, packed around a neighborhood, in one house just blaring, drunk people everywhere. The party was always going somewhere. All right. And shit, it was kind of crazy, but that's, you guys don't know anything about parties. A Gen X will understand. I mean, they're laughing their ass off going, yeah, these whippersnappers don't know shit about parties. So, the shit that we did, wow. All right. And the responsibilities that we had as a kid, even more wow. But I digress. All I know is I'm almost at 20 minutes here. I'm going to cut it short here. You guys, It's time to ascend. It's time to grow. It's time to go inside. It's time to find yourself pouring love into yourself. You pour love into you. God always says, let your cup overfloweth and allow you to grace people with that overfloweth as what you give. If you're giving from an empty cup until you're empty and you have to refill it again and then somebody empties you, all right, you're doing this knowingly now because I told you this information. Now you're doing it knowingly, so now you get a chance to change it. You know that you're giving from an empty cup. If you're pouring into people as much until you're exhausted, what is that saying to God? All right, that you don't know your own worth. You don't know what your worth is. So you pour it into you. You get yourself working at your optimal, at your primal, at your prime, even in your, maybe retirement age, you're still running at a really efficient level. And you start seeing this abundance start coming in and coming in and coming in. And whatever is overflowing, that's what you give to people. That's what you give. You don't do it when your cup is empty. People have to understand that that's not how God wanted it. He wanted you to give you the overflow because your cup is just full to the brim. That's the most authentic you. That's the most powerful you. And does he? I mean, I have to ask you guys. We're at the mediocre of our potential. It's like everybody's just like, oh, I just want to watch my phone. I want to do this. And we could be gods. The Bible says that I will be able to do things more miraculous than Jesus will. I fixed a hand that was broken the other day, and it was broke. It was broke bad. A guy broke it in a fight. Didn't have health insurance. I turned around and I put it back together. Now, I don't brag about these things, all right? But that's my superpower. I have superpowers that I keep to myself. I try not to boast, all right? But I'm an earth angel. I started off as an earth angel, all right? Went into being a chosen one, and now I'm a divine being. I didn't ask for these titles. They were bestowed upon me for all the tests I completed at 100%. And it was 100%. I mean, God's like, dude, you just aced the test. Like, aced it. Like, aced it. I'm like, how? How? He goes, just by being you. Just by being you. You aced this. Why? Because nobody else wanted to go through what you went through. I said, well, I didn't think I was going to go through all that. It just kind of all happened at me. And then when I was deep into it, I just thought, all right, you know what? Give me all my family's karma, everything in my bloodline. Let me bear all of it. I don't care I'll just start breaking generational curses. That's all I wanted to do. And still in Phoenix, I was breaking them one after another. Didn't even know it. I just thought, you know what, if I was out here and I was going to have to suffer, let it just be me. Let it just be me. Let my lineage not have to go through this shit anymore. And God was like, that's what I wanted to hear. That's what I needed to hear. I needed to hear somebody who wants to take on the burdens for the reward. And I couldn't really think of a reward. I was living, pretty much begging for change and shit like that off the streets, doing, trades and barters most of the time. That's how you kind of get along. You barter this for that, or, whoever has this. I never really stole. I was never a thief. I did steal food twice, all right? But it was literally like produce, like, plum or pear or something like that. Just something that I could walk out with real quick and eat because I was starving. All right. When it comes down to these things that people go through, and they learn how to know that it's only going to get worse and worse and worse. And that's how it was with me. Like, I stopped saying what else can go wrong. You stop saying that when you notice that shit, 100 things can go wrong after you say that, and it could be a lot worse than you could ever imagine. I stop cursing yourself with those words, all right? And I think the chaos spell that I was under, if I said those words, it just got worse, and it did. So you just learn not to like try to word curse yourself, all right? Keep your vocabulary where it's positive, where you have an upbeat thought process. If you keep yourself in a good mood, don't let yourself get to a low crying vibration. You can withstand a lot of magic attacks. It's all about when you start doubting yourself and you start getting those thoughts in your head that come in. Name your brain. Name your brain. Mine's Jarvis, okay? Just like an Iron Man, okay? Whenever I get a thought that's really kind of like not really me, I say, Jarvis, is this this like my thought? No, sir. This comes from an outside source. All right. Well, we need to run antivirus and get that removed and put up a crown chakra block. All right. Can we do that? I'm on it, sir. When you have a different look, kind of like relationship with your own brain, all right. Your soul is one thing. Your brain is another. All right. And when you name your brain, you could talk to your brain. And your brain will give you the first thing that comes to your mind is the correct information. That when you say something, if it was yes, it came from you, from this old unhealed childhood wound that you're dealing with. All right, so But in this case, it came from an outside source. So when you start feeling those things, you have to be enough aware to say, hey, is this me or not? And then trust yourself. You have to trust yourself. People don't trust themselves anymore. All right? I know that when it comes down to it, I started to trust myself more than anyone else because I was the one that got this shit done. All right? When I would ask anybody else around there, it would take, funniest fucking joke I know is, what's the slowest thing in the world? A tweaker in a hurry. Okay? And you ask most of the people I was around, they were mostly tweakers. All right, so you ask them to do this now, it's 3.5 hours later before they actually get up and get near you. So I ended up doing it myself. Why wait for them? All right? And pretty much I became fully self-sufficient. I didn't need anything. I needed myself more and trust myself more, and then started learning my discernment and learning when I can honestly say, I know the answer to this question and we can move forward and I have no worries in the world. That's discernment. That's when you can ask your higher self, listen, I'm going into this situation. What's the outcome? And you get a yes or no answer and stuff like that, and that yes or no answer is absolutely correct. So and then trust it and go forward. So this is a long one. I'm sorry to take all your time. I just know that I am really wanting you guys to come along. We got so much to explore. This world is changing so rapidly right now. The Schumann residence is off the hook, all right? We got another portal on the 10th coming in. There's just so much energetic changes that if you're not coming along, what are you really here for? Because the new Earth is only 6,000 years old. It's gorgeous, all right? He'll have to take us off of this one, and it will morph. The thing is that it will morph. The people in the 5D will slowly get away from the 3D people, and it will morph. It will be like they're there, but they're not there. All right, and they can't interfere with us, and we can't interfere with them, and all of a sudden we'll just kind of separate, and they'll forget about us, and we'll forget about them. It's just how it's going to work. At least that's what the Most High kind of said. It will be like two crystallized globes next to each other that, mimic things that we remember, but the negative people will stay in their globe and the 5D ascendant people will stay in theirs. We have a gorgeous earth. We got a gorgeous earth. It's wickedly gorgeous. And God wants to give it to us because he knows that we will be the ones that can, well, not treat it like a garbage dump, not treat it like a landfill. We would be the ones that have a harmony and a symbiotic relationship with it. That we're not going to sit here like a virus and take over and just, strip mine it for gold or something like this and leave a fucking cavern. All right. He knows that we would take care of this earth. All right. That we would cherish it. It's going to be like Avatar. We're going to be able to connect with like nature on a level that you can't even imagine. All right. And it's kind of old hat for me because the Most High has shown me this a long, long time ago. All right. But it's going to be amazing. All right. Move, get up, do things, get out of here. You watching TV, watching that rerun that you already saw 300 times in the past. What is that really doing for you? Watching the, Grit and all that other shit, where it's like old things that don't matter to us anymore. Confirmation, we got a horn. Come on, blow your horn, get out there, do stuff. People need a new society of people who are willing to take the corruption down too. And guess what? If I can do it, you can do it. We're all here together. I'm here to teach. I'm here to show you. You got a question, I'll give you an answer. I don't like being, how can you say, I don't hoard my information. That's the difference. Other people hoard. I present. I don't like to really show or anything. I present it and allow you to ingest it at your level. All right. Because I know everybody's going to ingest it at a different level. And I'm cool with that. At least you're ingesting it. At least you're going to try it. At least you're going to maybe put it into action. But be grateful for everything you have. Cut out the people that don't serve you. Live in the now. Know your boundaries. Know your worth. All right. Then find your connection with God. Find your flow state. Your flow state will heal your trauma wounds. That will bring you to the dark night of the soul. And you start really going through those traumas that really trigger you. You know how you know if you got a trauma? If somebody says something to you and you want to fight right at that second, like you're ready to throw right there because they said that's a trigger. Find the root cause of it. All right? And then go to the next one that will trigger you like that. And the next one. And if you could get to the point where somebody can poke you and poke you and poke you and poke you and poke you, and you go, listen, guys, I don't value your opinion, so whatever you say to me is like, I don't care. It's like your own asshole. I don't take toilet paper and wipe it for you, so please just keep it to yourself. It doesn't affect me because I don't value your opinion. All right? Plain and simple. Then you take them right out of the game. You make them look like the ass and not really make you look like somebody gonna get in their face and start a fight, because all they're doing is an energy exchange. They're trying to get you their energy like baiting you. All right. Oh, let's see if you're gonna take the bait, and then they want you in a big old argument, because narcissist loves getting people out of sorts. That's what they love to do. They love to get people out of sorts. They show their truth, and then they record it, and then they go, "Oh, look at this person. Look at how bad they are." They don't tell you that they sat there and badgered them for 40 minutes before that. No. They only show you the part where that person had enough, and they start, being energetically. But if you don't give them that reaction, and you go, well, I hope you have a great day. I'll see you later. And you protect your peace and you walk away. That didn't go the way I... No, come back. No, sorry. I'll see you later. It takes them all out of there. Yeah, they can't fight that. They won't fight that. They have no way to fight that. You just disengaged your entire energetic connection with them for this fight. You just unplugged it and walked away. That's the true way to be in. When you unplug and walk away, when you see a narcissist just badgering somebody, the loud mouth of the room. It's always the loud mouth. Because the quiet ones don't have to boast. They're humble. Why? Because they know what their power is, and they know that they contain it. And that's the main thing. They contain their power. Containing power is different than not showing it. I don't have to flex my power. I contain it by keeping my composure and protecting my peace and walking out when I can pick up my shit and get out of the situation and not have to deal with this energy craziness. Do it. This is what you want to do. You want to walk yourself away from it. And it's not running away from a fight. What it is that you're protecting your peace. You're telling the universe that your peace is worth more than that drama. Plain and simple. And that drama is just not worth it. It's not worth the energy expelled. You always will be... You'll be in a losing battle, because once you corner a narcissist, he'll flip it back on you and, accuse you, project on you, and then you're defending yourself for something that they're going, wow, look at this. Oh, that worked well. Oh yeah, tell me off. Tell me how off you. It's a game for them. They get a thrill from this. It's a sickness. And, right now, with my energy being out in the world like this, my truth is so overwhelming. It's literally moving across like state lines. It's a ripple effect that is literally hitting everyone energetically. And we're all learning how to learn about our relationships and how people start to not answer the questions with a yes, no answer. Oh, they have to give us a big roundabout fucking, distorted fucking view of whatever, or they start gaslighting. All right. There's so many fucking tricks that they use. All right. Learn about narcissism, and you'll start to understand when your boss starts doing it, or when your, spouse starts doing it. And you learn that there's really no way to change them. There's no way to change them. They're broken people. They're broken people. And these are people, everybody has narcissistic traits. Like somebody might be, vain and they like to look in the mirror a lot, but they're not egotistical. They're not entitled. They're not grandiose. They're not, without empathy. That's a big one. All right. When they got more than 7, then they're actually narcissistic. Like, you could start now finding if they're covert or if they're malignant. All right. There's another one that I'm missing in my head right now. So, the grand, it's a general or grandiose, covert, and malignant. Malignant's the worst. I have dealt with a couple of those in my life, and it's hell. It's hell. These people will lie, cheat, and steal, cheat, steal, and lie, and they have no fucking qualms about it. They don't think anything about it. It's all I, me, and how I feel. How I feel. Not what they feel, because you don't even exist in there. You're just fuel. You're there to prove that they exist. You're there to prove that they exist. Most people don't have to worry about their own existence and need other people to validate their existence. And this is where the sickness of narcissism comes. Because you don't pour enough into your own, you need others to pour into you. And when you don't get it, you force them. You bring them into situations where you have to give them a lot of validation and then back off and watch them come after you. All right, because people would be like, hey, you were really like into me and now nothing. What's the hell going? Oh, nothing. There's just something going on. And they just get off on that. It's a sickness. This is a sickness. So, um, all right, I'm almost at 40 minutes. I didn't mean it to be this long, guys. All right, peace out. Take care. Love you all. And be good to each other. Bye.